Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Doctor Who Reviews. This week we have got a wild time ahead of us as we look at The Mind Robber. But more important than that, I now have 5G.
Well, welcome to the future.
Well, I say 5G, I've only had the one injection, so I suppose technically it's 2.5G.
Well, I've had both and I feel perfectly fine. And you know what else is fine? Cortana, used on Windows. She is a great service that will allow you to search the web or through your entire computer. She's even voice activated. Cortana, she is the future.
She is indeed.
I'm kind of worried now for my shot next week,
Wait,
considering
what did I miss? I blacked out for a second there.
I've got to wait till
talking
August
about
for
Patrick
mine.
Troughton.
Oh, yay, Patrick Troughton.
I've got to wait till August for mine. Anyway, I've kind of preempted it, but I'm joined by my two usual co-hosts. Firstly, to my virtual left, he doesn't want to go to Chelsea, and after this weekend, neither do I. It's Freezing Inferno.
Why would I not want to go to Chelsea? What?
Sports.
People want to go to Chelsea?
Sports, Jerry.
I want to hang out with Chelsea. She seems nice.
Yeah, Chelsea's fine. Not that Chelsea, the other Chelsea.
Oh, right.
The Champions League
Oh
winners
yeah,
Chelsea.
the Chelsea with the red hair. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not talking about Chelsea Clinton, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And to my
Anyway,
virtual
hi,
right, no, I will not get over it. Don't tell me to get over it. And to my virtual, a year down the drain, we get to the final, and then, right. It's okay. I'm good. I'm
That's
cool.
football for you.
I'm cool. I am not cool. And to my virtual right, she is the mistress of the land of friction. It's Cognitive Usurper, also known as Cat.
You know, considering what we did last week, that's a bit on the nose, but I'll accept it.
How gracious of you to accept it.
Rain, honey, I got a bone to pick with you. Here I am. I'm carving my niche into our little show. I've got my niche. I'm the gonzo weirdo who talks about mirrors and picks the weird stories. And here you are. You're one-upping me, and you're picking the most gonzo out there bullshit possible.
No, Frez, it's okay, honey, because I found the sexism in it, so we're fine.
Oh,
I think we all
well,
did.
it was 1968.
The photographer made it very clear to spot the sexism.
It's
I kept my promise. I would find something.
I mean, it's 1968. It's not hard.
True.
It is the sexism. My God, it's sexist as hell.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
but it is also absolutely 100% the most gonzo thing, and it's interesting because whereas a story like from the 60s, like say The Web Planet, which is a show that we did before here on Doctor
Which
Who
I also
Reviews,
picked.
so inclined. Which you also picked, Mr. Niche Taker. I'm gonna have to give you a real weird one next time then. But
well, you forget it's my turn next.
Yes.
yes, I know. One fear, but what do we do with that?
One particular fear.
Yeah.
Cat just comes and says,
So-
you know how we're going to follow this gonzo? Traditional bullshit.
No, not traditional bullshit. Trolling bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
It's Cat. But
Deep
before we get to
concern.
that, of course, we have an entire story to talk about. So, the Web Planet is one to compare this to, a 60s gonzo story. But the Web Planet, it was planned out that way. Okay, maybe some of the effects were not up to snuff, and thus made it, stand out in our hearts, shall we say. But The Mind Robber is a very interesting story because a lot of its weirdness comes out of necessity and desperation. Take, for example, the first episode, which we'll discuss. But it is the way it is because of production bullshit. So the short version is that the previous story, a little serial called The Dominators, was supposed to be 6 parts, but then there was some bullshit, and it only became 5 parts. So the 4-part Mind Robber had to have an extra opening part tacked onto it. But they didn't have the budget for anything other than the TARDIS set and the main actors and a big room painted white. So they made they made lemonade out of lemons here, and they created something that's absolute. It's just the most surreal, goddamn strange thing, and the perfect opener to such a Gonzo story.
This is pretty
So,
much the Doctor does Alice in Wonderland, and I'm all for it.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So why don't we discuss that strange necessity of episode one and begin the
Okay.
manga?
Well, you've mentioned about the Dominators and about the 5 parts as opposed to 4 parts, like it's supposed to be. But we begin with the end of the Dominators. Now, I've not seen the Dominators yet,
Yeah,
Neither have I.
but I'm
yeah.
guessing it ends with volcanic eruption.
It sure does. Yeah, as near as I can remember. The only time I saw the Dominators was Christmas Eve, and I was drinking. So
Say no more.
yeah, so
So instead, we cut to Inferno 1968 non-colorized.
beautiful. But yeah, there's lava coming. Oh shit, we gotta get the fuck out of here. Let's dematerialize. But uh-oh, this whole TARDIS ain't working quite right.
Yeah, there's something about fluid links. There's mercury vapor coming into the console room. The Doctor's not sure what, lava will actually do to the TARDIS. So there, he's just like, well, the only thing we could do is use an emergency unit, but no, we can't do that. We cannot do that. We absolutely cannot do that. And then Jamie makes him do it.
Yeah, the emergency unit, as it turns out, would move them out of reality, which bit of a big thing to do, but emergencies call for it, and the TARDIS is currently up to its light in molten hot lava, so yeah, hit the button. Let's whoosh.
Yeah, it's like I get that we need to have a reason for them to get into the story, but also you're saying that nobody would think of a way to, get the TARDIS out back into reality afterwards. I mean,
Yeah.
at this point, had the Time Lords come into play yet, or is it after this?
No.
Yeah, the time was onto thing yet.
Okay, so as far as we know, this is just a guy who managed to either find or make a time machine, correct?
Basically,
So again, wouldn't the if he was the one who made it, then when he put in an emergency thing to get back to the reality or know what he's doing or something?
I honestly don't think they had any of that in mind because, like I said, this is just an emergency episode one, so they're just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
But
yeah, I get that, but it's just it's one of those things where it's a little weak.
yeah, yeah.
It's like you don't have to explain everything to us, but have a reason for them to not be able to move immediately back out of reality. Like he lost the instruction book. That would be kind of funny. Or, something happened where he has to repair something first. And that makes sense.
Well, either way, they're out of reality. None of the meters on the TARDIS are registering, and they're apparently nowhere in time and space. Which is odd because when Jamie, by the way, the companions, we should talk about them.
Yeah.
Jamie, we know. We've seen him in other Second Doctor stories we've reviewed, but we have a companion that we are talking about for the first time.
Second
Zoe.
time, she had a brief cameo in 5 Doctors.
Oh yeah, she did have a little. Yeah, she had a cameo in Five Doctors. So we probably mentioned her. I probably mentioned her there, but yeah, she's a computer tech from the future. And by the
Yes, the
future,
mystical far off future of 2000.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Ooh.
that's how they did the far future in those days.
I know, but still, it's funny.
Yeah, it's funny. But anyway, we're here nowhere in time and space. We're just sort of taking a little siesta. And it's weird that we're nowhere because Jamie looks at the time scanner and he sees Scotland.
Yeah.
Well, not
That's
just yet. First Zoe goes and she gets changed because Jamie's actually quite rude to her and says that she looks like a ragamuffin.
Yeah. Not a
what?
fan of this.
I thought she looked fine. But Zoe goes to change and for some reason decides to dress up as a disco ball.
Mrs. Peel, we're needed.
But she goes to the doctor and says that I'm going to ignore that. She says that well, the TARDIS only lands at places that are safe, so we must be someplace safe. And the doctor's like, "Are you a fucking idiot?
I'm only
We
quoting
have
that
no
because
idea where the hell we are."
apart from the fact that it's all silver and shimmering, it's like Mrs. Peel's cat suits in the Avengers,
Yes.
which they made the actress
Yes.
wear for exactly the same reason.
Oh Lord. Really?
Which is why I'm trying to ignore it.
She did a lot of fighting, a lot more than Zoe does.
I see.
So the cat suit, the leather cat suit, was basically a way for her to get around, and also, I hate to say it, titillation for the audience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, look at that.
It
Wait,
doesn't
I
look
thought you said
too bad
Kat,
on
I thought
Zoe.
you said you found the sexism, not Rainiac.
Oh no, there was this, but there was something else as well.
Yeah, this is one part of the sexism.
Yeah.
I'm just getting it out of the way right now. I'm ripping off the bandage right now.
Oh well, we'll rip off the bandage when we get to the end of part 1, I think.
Yeah. By the way, they got Zoe to change into a new outfit, which makes her sparkly as hell.
Okay,
Oh, I'm
so
laughing
she's in
through my
a
denial.
She's in a spangly jumpsuit. That's.
But
yeah.
that's not the important part. The important part is Zoe wants to go outside. The doctor says no.
Yeah,
And then we
let's-
cut to the console room where we see Jamie is looking at the nothing on the scanner. And here you know that the Doctor Who series is made by Englishmen. They then put up the Scottish Highlands, which, come on, guys. The Scottish Highlands are not nothing.
Jeez.
Ignoring that, Zoe also...
Oh, and of course we hear bagpipes, because,
yes,
of course.
because
course we do.
Scottish the English of Scotland, yes. I mean, you're not wrong, and I hate the fact that you're not wrong, but
Gosh. Well, then Zoe comes in and Jamie's all like, "Look, it's Scotland on the thing. Look at it. I can see it." So he's like, "There's nothing there." But then she sees something. But it's not Scotland. It's her home city in the far-off mystical future of the year 2000.
yes.
So it is.
Zoe's
So
been to the year
isn't that-
2000. Not much has changed, but they live underwater.
So you're telling me instead of Steve Jobs and iPhones, we could have lived underwater with the fish people? I feel ripped off.
I like how the cat got that reference.
I mean, you're 1,000 years off, but yes.
Yes.
I like how the cat got my reference there.
Yes.
Good, good
Look it
on
up
you.
later, Frezno. It's not worth it.
Well, maybe if I remember after this.
Fine, it's a busted song.
Okay.
And it's actually year 3000, but it works.
Yeah.
Right. Well, Zoe decides, hey, let's open the doors and go on out there. What's the worst that could happen? Oh, and
She disappears.
They're gone.
And she's
Well-
gone.
It's an interesting effect. It's just there's nothing out there, and she walks out, and she just sort of fades away.
It's a jump cut, really, isn't it? I mean, it's a
crossfade.
it's a crossfade jump cut, yeah.
But it's still like eerily effective. Like if you think of it, she
Oh,
just
it's good
goes out
with
there.
the
She's
added
gone.
mist. Yes, it just literally vanishes into the mist.
Yeah,
Yep.
and Jamie also runs out there to after her, and all the alarms are going off. You know, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
This is before the cloister bell, right?
Yes.
I have, yeah, that's right. So they're both out there, and before the doctor can really do anything about it, there's a droning hum fucking with him.
Yep. Warning lights are going off. He hears a sharp, piercing sound. He's like, screaming out for whoever's making the noise to identify themselves. Tell him what you want. And he's determined to fight off the noise. And then we cut back to Zoe, who is just like completely blank room. Thankfully,
Okay.
Jamie at least manages to find her.
Which like HD restoration has kind of fucked with this. Like
Yeah, you can see the corners.
you can clearly see it's a room, but okay, like you can allow for the fact that in 1968 on a shitty black and white TV you wouldn't see that, so the
Yeah.
effect would have been more convincing. So you can forgive it that you
Yeah,
weren't really meant to see
honestly,
it.
this is true for a lot of things nowadays. My family had this TV that they got maybe a couple years ago. Um, I don't think it's 4K, but it's a pretty high resolution. And whenever you watch old movies on it, it is very, very easy to see where wires are, where weird cuts are. So the evolution of technology really kind of harms these old shows and TV movies.
Yeah, it does.
Just a bit, yeah. But I mean, you can excuse it. It worked.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's
so
one of
the
those things where you
idea.
have to recognize it and sort of excuse it. It's like it's not the serial's fault. It's just the
Yeah.
fault that technology is so advanced.
So the idea is we're in like a nowhere white void, kind of prescient in its own way. I think it makes me think of, did Warriors Gate get inspiration from this?
I don't know.
Because that's also a story with a white void, but instead of just painting a room white, they actually just used a green screen.
Hmm.
But yeah, same deal. We're outside the universe that we know, and we're in a white void. And also, now there are robots.
Yeah, these robots are interesting. Can I talk a little bit about the robots?
Yes.
Because
Yeah,
these
I
are
think I
props
know
that
what
have actually
you're
been
gonna
recycled from a previous show.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Out of the unknown. It doesn't exist
Uh,
anymore, like a lot of the.
I am suppressing my instinct to start singing Frozen songs because it's into the
I
unknown.
know, but
Hurry up before I start
okay.
belting it out.
Episode called "The Prophet" of that show.
Cold never bothered Cat anyway.
Yeah, and then it was never actually it never actually got saved to the BBC archive. So these robots, the only time you'll see them is in the Mine Robber now.
And
And
then
still
and
a good
then
use of it.
and then after they were used in the Mind Robber, the BBC just looked at them and said, "Let it go."
Oh,
Can't hold it back anymore.
rest assured, you're the only one laughing.
Oh, come on, Rain. You gotta be more open than that. Love is an open door.
See, that's clever. That's not a cliche. That was acceptable.
Gosh.
We've all made a let it go
Okay.
joke.
So they start hallucinating their homes again. They're getting all Jamie's all like transfixed. Oh, it's really Scotland. It's really there. So Zoe snaps him out of it by whapping him across the face.
Sounds about right. But you know what? If Jamie had just used this great website I found called Bing.com, he could have looked up pictures of the Scottish Highlands whenever he wanted.
Uh,
What?
Did you black out again?
what?
What? No, I don't know.
I think you
You
blacked
really
out
Fred
need-
was
again.
saying something about Zoe slapping Jamie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you say that it served him right for putting him in the silver cat suit? We'll go with that.
Anyways, they decide that staying put is probably a bad idea, and for some reason, so they decide to go ahead and try to find the TARDIS, and that's when they encounter the robots in question.
And this is real wild because the robots do something or other to them, reverse the negative on their clothing or bodies or whatever the fuck, and then you see this shot of like them in white suits, white versions of their costumes, beckoning, and Zoe just screams.
Yeah, that scream. It's not quite the It's not quite Myra Francis from last week's Creatures from the Pit, but it's pretty good.
Oh, we'll get a pretty damn good Zoe scream in just a bit.
Yeah.
What? There's a better one than this?
I think. Rain's
Oh yes,
thinking of
yes there is. There is
Oh,
a
yeah.
better
Yeah,
one.
there is. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yes.
But before that, we've got someone whispering menacingly to the doctor. And he's going out to save Jamie and Zoe.
Let me in.
Dr. Cloud, was that you?
No, that was actually never mind. No, I think
Neferos,
I blacked
is that
out.
you?
I think I blacked out. Right.
Yes.
Yeah, so he eventually listens to this disembodied voice that keeps imploring the Doctor to save his companions. Should also mention that when it was just Jamie and the Doctor alone in the TARDIS, the Doctor was concerned somebody was trying to get into the TARDIS. So that might be this voice.
Could be.
Maybe.
And out here in the void, even the TARDIS is white now.
Yeah, that's neat.
Yeah. And Jamie and Zoe are just sort of standing there. They're obviously entranced by these robots in their white suits.
Yep, and the Doctor's like, no, you both have to get inside. Come on, everything out here that is not real. Only myself, the TARDIS, and you two are real. Come on. And he pulls them in. And as soon as they get pulled in, their outfits change back, and that's such a cool effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
It's a clever way to show that something's not right with this void.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
it's
Jamie's clearly still out of it as they're going around.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Doctor is trying to take off at this point, and Jamie's like sitting down in a corner. He's fast asleep. And tell me, Frez, what does he dream about?
Dreaming about horses.
What kind of horses, though, Rainiac?
A unicorn.
These people do know that Scotland's animal is the unicorn, right? That's kind of on the nose.
Yes.
I
do.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's their national animal, is the unicorn.
That's very clever.
I think
Which
it's on their
makes me
passport.
pissed off that my fucking national animal is the fucking bald eagle. We could have had a fucking dragon on our,
I think
everything.
that the unicorn is on the Scottish passports. Might also be on the UK passports as well, because it's all four
Official
nations.
Canadian animal.
Beaver.
It's the beaver. I thought it was going to be the Canada goose.
No. I don't do quizzes for nothing.
No, even the people who are in charge of Canada are just like, no, we can't put the Canadian goose on everything.
It's too on the nose.
Nobody would want to deal with us. Which, we're the good guys. We're trying to be the good guys. If we put a Canadian goose on it, then everybody will think we're the bad guys.
It is a lovely day in the Canadian government. You're a horrible goose.
I really should throw on that PS4 copy of Untitled Goose Game that you bought me.
You
for
really
Christmas.
should, because that game
You
is
should,
great.
yes. It is fantastic.
I had a blast doing it on the stream.
And then
Christmas.
the developers implying that every single villager was a conservative as a joke, and people taking it seriously.
Good. Okay, so Jamie's dreaming about unicorns. There's more bad humming as they try to escape, and it's getting really loud, and it's overwhelming them. They're like, it's too loud. Fuck. And then we get to the money shot of the end of episode 1, which is,
Don't use that term.
in many ways, in some ways, it may be one of the best cliffhangers the show's ever done. In other ways, not so great.
Please don't use the term money shot in relation to this.
Yeah. Anyway, one of you want to go into this?
Yeah, do you mind if I do? So,
The Master of Friction approves.
Oh my god.
I like how you just embrace that now.
Oh, absolutely.
Well done.
Yes.
So, the noise is getting unbearable. The Doctor is trying to get himself to concentrate to fight it. He gets Zoe and Jave to read the TARDIS readings off the dials out loud. And then it doesn't work. Then the TARDIS breaks apart.
Boom.
Actually, a really good effect for the 1960s.
Ah, damn it, Madame Kavarian, you done it again.
Yeah.
Well, she's not truly villainous, so...
Ah!
So the TARDIS breaks apart. Zoe and Jamie are clinging onto the TARDIS console. And the director gets a good shot of Wendy Pabri's backside.
Yeah.
Purely for artistic reasons, of course.
Purely
Yeah.
artistic reasons.
Purely artistic.
My artistic
reasons.
vision.
More like ass-tic vision.
What?
But, anyways.
Yes, but
But anyways.
but anyways, right? Yes. Well done for going for the low-hanging fruit. if you think that we're skimming over this,
Well,
you're
I'm
absolutely
sure
right.
that
We're skimming
director
over
was
this
thinking with his low-hanging fruit.
because the more important thing,
God.
the more important thing than the casual sexism is the Doctor is
He's sailing
spinning in
off into the void.
space and has asphyxiated.
Oh no.
The Doctor is
Well-
dead.
Well, it's a good thing that the spaceship picked them up on a space race on the planet Desolation. Wait, no, shit, wrong episode. No.
And this is where Zoe's great screen comes into play.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the Doctor's not supposed to be dead here. The Doctor's just floating away asleep.
But he might as well be dead
Yeah,
because
well.
they think they're in deep space, and if you're in deep space, and well, you
Well, I highly doubt that anybody thought he was actually dead because this serial did start off with part 1.
yeah, but Zoe probably thought he was dead.
Sure.
In universe, he's supposed to be
Either
dead.
way, Jamie and Zoe are clinging to the console, Zoe screaming, "Doctor!" Well, that's not quite as good a scream, of course.
Yeah.
I would try to do it, but I don't want to break anybody's eardrums, so I'll be good.
Yeah, please
Or
don't
your
do the Corey
vocal
Taylor on
cords.
my account.
And
Okay.
my neighbors might think that something's actually wrong. So,
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So that was the emergency episode 1, as it were. I very good bit of surrealism and makes you wonder what in the fuck is going on.
For low budget, it's
And-
actually rather
so far.
good, isn't it?
And it does give an adequate sort of excuse for the Gonzo world we're going to find ourselves in.
Is it
for
fair
the
to
rest
compare
of the
part 1
story.
to Edge of Destruction?
Oh yeah.
if I could just go back for a moment,
You
Yeah.
can?
Go ahead.
we originally was supposed to do this on a different day. We're recording it the day we are, which is Thursday.
Mhm.
So I watched this before we were supposed to actually do it because I had been busy pretty much all weekend, and that's why we had to push it off for a bit.
Yeah.
So I got to live react to everybody because everybody else had already seen it. And to quote my reaction at this point, I said something about the unicorn, and then I said about the sound that they were hearing, and then their heads implode. Okay, didn't expect that, because at that point, something else imploded, which was the TARDIS.
Yeah.
Whoops.
I'd also like to mention our friend Mike, who was also reacting along with you in that Discord, and he sums it up perfectly. Part 1 is your warning. Part 2 is you downing hard vodka. He's not wrong.
Yeah,
Because part 2 goes off.
yeah.
Mm.
As soon as part 2 started, I said, also, what drugs did I take?
No. Yeah, hard vodka is a little. It's not entirely correct. Part 2 is sticking at your tongue and slapping a bit of Molly on it, or LSD, or whatever the fuck.
I was going to say, I've never heard it
some,
referred to as Molly
LSD.
before, but LSD will
some
do just
bullshit.
fine.
Some bullshit from the '60s that makes you trip out.
LSD is the psychedelic one.
Yeah, that's.
So they
Don't
don't
ask me how I
actually
know that.
resolve the whole cliffhanger of him floating in space
No.
directly.
We're just-
they split the
we're
trio
just
up
somewhere
instead.
else. Yeah, this is so much better. I don't know what they would have done if it was 4 parts, but I mean, just landing here in this place that they are in would be a bit strange.
Honestly,
you
I kind of like the transition.
I do
Yeah.
as well.
I think you kind of have to have it be such a weird way of entry, like the TARDIS exploding and all the other weird bullshit. Like you couldn't just go and land here. I think that would be lesser. It'd still be an
Yeah.
interesting story, but it'd just be like, okay.
It's like, I am not going to jump out and say that I'm an expert in tropes and filmography or anything like that, but I am going to say that with confidence that if they had shown them landing, then that wouldn't have been as unsettling as just being in the new location. Because
Yeah,
once you're
exactly.
just here, exactly like they are, it's very, very unsettling. And it really pulls you into the characters because you know how they feel.
So episode 2 opens and we're just here now.
Well,
here
they
appears.
replay the bit of the TARDIS
Yeah.
breaking up, and then they
Yep.
move
Oh
on.
no.
They'll always do
And
that
they also
with 60s
and they
cliffhangers.
also replay, the shot
It's
because
the scream, yeah.
Because
hey
artistic
kids.
vision, yes.
Yes, my artistic version. So here we are in a forest of some kind, and Jamie's looking for everybody, and he happens to spy an English redcoat.
And
This
like
time,
any good, smart person, he immediately pulls out his knife and goes to stab him.
the guy shoots, and well, you'd think Jamie would fall over dead or be hurt or some shit, but instead he turns into a cardboard cutout.
He
Yes,
becomes a very flat actor.
Ah!
Yes.
Oh, right as you're wondering what the fuck is going on, this is just even more weird bullshit. And
Poor
Zoe,
Jamie.
meanwhile,
He's just not all who he used to be.
falls into her own trap where she's investigating a mysterious, spooky castle, and walks through the door and just falls down a pit. It's just like, Doctor, where are you? Ah!
Yes, it was entirely Zoe's fault. She forgot to turn the no clip code off.
Jesus. Zoe in the mysterious, dark, spooky castle of
I love every time you try and scream
Next
like.
time, just open the cheat console and type in Motherload to get $40,000.
I love
All right.
every time you scream, it just peaks your microphone and cuts you off.
Ah!
There you go.
Not that time. That one was good.
That was fine.
That's good.
Damn it.
We'll fix it
Well,
in post. We will absolutely not fix it in post.
Speaking
No,
of
what you
post,
gotta do is you gotta take that exact same scream and paste it over every single time you tried to scream before. So it sounds really weird, but nobody will know until this
Well,
moment
that's
what
too
it's
much
all
like
about.
effort.
that what do you take us for? Professionals?
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
right, mate.
I'm sorry.
So,
I'll go back to my
anyways,
corner.
there's some guy watching all this on TV monitors and stuff and going, yes, good, all according to plan.
He wasn't Palpatine.
Well, he has kind of a raspy voice.
Yeah, but he wasn't Palpatine.
Good.
You couldn't feel his anger.
Well, you could later on, but
Yes, he
not
definitely could feel
right
the
now.
Doctor's anger later on, but right now he couldn't.
Well, the doctor's fine. He's also in this forest, but he can hear Jamie and Zoe yelling for him in opposite directions, and he's just like, "Calm down. One of you yell. One of you can yell because I can't hear where you are if you're both yelling." So
We should
everyone's
also
yelling.
mention it's very
also
dark
confused.
here where they are.
It's pretty dark, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's also something clanking. Walking, going around here. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but well, the doctor eventually meets somebody.
Yeah, we'll just call this guy a stranger because that's how he's created in part 2, and his real identity is key to the whole mystery of this place. So let's keep it going a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is
We should
Bernard
mention
Horsfall.
that
Yeah, go on.
at one point they did turn the mysterious figure did turn the lights up, so that way we know that this figure has control over this land,
Yeah.
Mm.
which is very important to know, and that's why I wanted to make sure to get in there.
And he sends his
instead of you
unusual
two assholes
soldiers.
covering over me.
Sorry. Mea culpa. He does send these soldiers to find the Doctor
Ooh.
to complete his collection. Got to catch them all.
So, let's talk about the stranger for a bit.
Yeah,
Yes.
the stranger is interesting. He's played by Bernard Horsfall, who would later have a more prominent role as a member of the Doctor's race in later stories.
Twice.
Twice,
Two different,
yes.
two completely different Time Lord characters.
He actually meets Patrick Troughton again, but is a completely different character to this character.
And then he is in the Tom Baker stories.
He is, yes.
Ooh.
And this stranger is talking in weird languages.
Well, not so much weird languages. It's just he's got a very particular sort of.
Well,
pattern
to
of
start
speech.
off with, he's speaking
Frez,
nonsense words.
Frez, It's Rainiac. He's English. He thinks anything that's not English is weird languages.
Hey now. Hey now.
You're an
You're an
all-star.
all-star,
Get your
yeah.
game
Game
on.
on.
Go
Go
play.
No, I mean literally, this is not a word in any language. He is talking nonsense words and then he switches to English, which I do recognise. Damn you both.
Oh, wait, no, that's right. You're not actually English, you're American. So it's even worse.
I was not born in the United States of America. I don't know what you're talking about. Uh,
Weren't you? I think we have a clip that says otherwise.
I think we do.
I was born in the United States of America.
Ah, the smoking gun.
The stranger, he seems to be as much in the dark as to what's going on as the doctor. He tells me he hasn't seen either Jamie or Zoe, but the way he speaks, even when he switches to English, is a bit contrived.
Just a bit.
It's a bit old English.
Yep.
He
It's very
also-
proper.
Yeah,
Let's put it
He
that
also
way.
he
makes
uses
reference
many
to some.
words to say very little things.
Mhm.
And the doctor says, well, I would like to explore this place. He goes, that's not permitted by the master. And then he just leaves.
Oh shit!
It's kind of funny. It's almost like this guy speaks as if he's an old white man who likes to listen to the sound of his own voice.
Oh my god.
No,
Hey,
he's not Richard Dawkins.
The master, though, holy shit! Oh, wait, no, that's before. We're before that. We're not.
Yeah,
we're
this
not
is
gonna
the
meet
master
Roger
before the
Delgado.
master was a thing.
Yeah, I was going to ask that, but I assume that the Master was not a thing as of yet.
Yeah.
If the Time Lords are definitely not a thing.
Two completely different characters again. So
Yeah.
It's the master. No, not that one.
So we've had the stranger. He's taken his leave. Who's he replaced by? Shit kids.
Hooray! Cat's favorite.
And these children are little terrors because they're bombarding the doctor with riddles and questions. One of them gets a sword, holds the doctor at sword point. But it's
It
okay.
says, what can you make of a sword?
It's okay because they're just playing a game with him.
They're just fucking.
Well,
around.
it's not so much a game.
It's
But
a
we'll
riddle.
get into that when we get to the next scene.
It's a riddle.
I think. Yeah. This one's
And the
a
answer-
riddle.
Yeah. And the answer to the riddle is actually sort of a clue of what's going on, because what you can make out of a sword is words.
So the boy throws the sword up into the air, and instead of a sword coming down, it's a dictionary.
Another nice effect for the 60s.
And then this is fun. It's just we get like the doctor finds a safe and a wishing well, and then he sees like what like a rebus, just like a picture puzzle with M and T crossed out. So he has to puzzle
Yeah.
what all this shit means.
Well, first he finds the cardboard cutout of Jamie, and he thinks that it's literally just a cardboard cutout. Then he turns, and all of a sudden, in the place where he was standing, is the safe and the wishing well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the well starts laughing at him.
Yeah, once he throws the dictionary down the well. And that's when he sort of figures it out, and here's what the kids were doing as well. It's all a big logic puzzle. So the whole reason that the safe and the well are there is because he puts it with Jamie. If you have the word mist without the M or the T, that's is. And then you have safe, which is obviously safe. A hand without an H, which is and then a well. So Jamie is safe and well.
And oh no, where's his face gone?
Oh,
Yeah, here comes the horror part. Well, horror comedy.
This is something. We'll explain why this had to happen in a bit. But
Yeah.
Let's just explain what happened. So Jamie's face is gone, and sitting next to the cardboard cutout is like a whiteboard with a bunch of pieces of cardboard with people's eyes, people's noses, and people's mouths. So the doctor has to match the face to Jamie's face. So he has to pick up the eyes and put them on, pick up a nose and put it on, and pick up a mouth and put it on. Reassemble
Basically, he
Jamie's
has to be a
face.
good friend right now, and he completely fails.
Yeah. So he plays the face puzzle, and he fucks up.
Yep.
And now we have some random person who's now Jamie.
So this, like the whole episode 1 had to be hastily made, is another bit of serendipity, because the actor who played Jamie, Fraser Hines, he got the chicken pox, so he couldn't make the show for a week or so.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh shit, he's in the story. What do we do? Oh, it sure is lucky that we're making a surrealist nightmare episode. So all we can do is turn him into a cutout, take his face off, have the doctor fuck up putting his face back, and cast him as a completely different actor for an episode and a half.
Yeah. This is a bit like different circumstances, but this is a bit like in Power Rangers Dino Thunder. There were episodes where Tommy's actor, I've just forgotten his name.
Jason David Frank?
Jason David Frank, thank you. He took a vacation.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we get around the fact that, well, we can't have Tommy on the set? They just had Tommy stuck in his ranger suit and his helmet the whole time.
I something else where essentially Jamie got Nicolas Caged.
Yeah. He did, but
Where he
the doctor
wants
got
to
it
get
wrong.
face
The doctor got it wrong.
Whoops.
So the actor is Hamish
Oh
Wilson.
no! Instead of Nicolas Cage, now he's John Travolta. Run!
Oh, hey, Rainiac. Hey, Rainiac.
Yeah, I know it's coming.
How does Jamie find out that his face got fucked up and he's got a completely different face?
The doctor hands him a mirror.
Doctor Who mirror alert! Whoop 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 whoop.
Yeah, but before that happened, I was going to talk a bit about the actor that plays Jamie now.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
go ahead.
let's talk
I've
about
got my
him
memeing
instead.
done. Talk about it.
This is Hamish Wilson. No memeing allowed. This is Hamish
For
Wilson.
memeing.
Viva la meme!
Less memeing allowed. Compromise. Yeah, Hamish Wilson. Now, there was a popular rumour that this was actually Fraser Hines, who's Jamie, his cousin.
Hmm.
And it's not. They're not related in any way.
Okay.
He's just I hate to say I hate to say it like this, but the BBC basically just cast a Scottish actor to replace another Scottish actor. They weren't related. But the confusion might come...
I would hope they would have a Scottish actor play someone who's
The
Scottish.
confusion might come from the end credits where there is an Ian Hines listed, but he's a Clockwork Soldier.
Okay.
So his cousin is in this, but he's not playing Jamie.
Right. So, well, now we've got a new Jamie for a little bit here.
About 15 minutes.
While Fraser Hines recovers from chicken. So, the Doctor and Jamie then go looking for Zoe, and they find a cardboard door.
I love this. I love this so much.
Go ahead, Kat. You go.
So I actually really love riddles and logic puzzles and things like this. So
too.
this is literally my jam. I am like all for it. That was a pun, by the way.
I know.
So the Doctor and Jamie get to a door, and do they see like a scroll, or are they asked when is a door not a door? I don't remember that part.
I think they're just asked. I think. Either way, the question is posed to them.
Yeah. Oh, I remember now. It's because it's a brick wall with the door painted on it.
Yeah, the doctor
So the
says
doctor
when is a
says,
door, not a door.
when is a door not a door? And it's kind of funny because I knew the answer right away. It's when it's ajar,
Yeah.
as in when it's slightly opened.
Yeah. And once
It's
they
like-
saw that,
I
After
love
that
it.
terrible pun,
Holly
It's
would
not a
be
terrible
proud.
pun.
Holly would be proud.
no, well, that's not a
well,
terrible pun, but what happens next is because The door disappears, and here's Zoe in a jam jar.
In a jar.
It's so
I
good.
love this shit. I love it so much.
She's literally in a
'Cause
jam
at
jar.
this point, you kind of realize that this doesn't seem to be just random logic puzzles that are just popping up, wherever. They're specifically aimed at the Doctor. Someone is testing the Doctor for something.
Either way, they get Zoe out of the jar, and Zoe's just like, "Wait, who are you? Oh, don't you start with me. I'm Jamie. And the Doctor fucked my face up. Don't blame me."
Who might you be?
Oh no, that's the best part. Jamie doesn't even know the Doctor messed it up.
But he does when he looks in the mirror.
Yeah.
He doesn't know he messed it up, but he has a different face, so you're right.
Found you, and you were like this. I swear it. And then
Yeah.
later on, it happens again, and spoilers.
We'll
But it
get-
happens again, and Zoe's like, "It was your fault."
Yeah. They get Zoe out of the jar, and then Jamie decides to climb a tree for a better look at the surroundings. And this is great, actually. I really like this idea. The trees are, in fact, letters.
So
They're
much,
enough.
so Alice, and so Gonzo, and this is what I'm here for.
Yeah.
This is such good shit.
It's a forest of words.
It's not just a forest of words; it's a forest of proverbs.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
I'm here for this.
And once they come down from that, it's the stranger again.
Hey!
And also, we get a full look at the robots that are coming, and they're giant robotic toy soldiers.
Hey!
And they're going to capture the Doctor and friends.
Boo! If only Buzz Lightyear was here.
And so then we get
Actually,
our
he could be
cliffhanger.
there. He could be there in that world.
Well. We'll I wonder
The
how that
stranger,
could be, but...
he doesn't sell them out, but he doesn't protect them either.
Yes, because funnily enough, he can't see the robots.
No,
apparently.
he's not being a traitor here. He literally cannot see them. So
Interesting.
he gives the position away, and they're like, "Oh, thanks a lot." So they escape from the or rather, they don't escape from the soldiers. The soldiers push them to one spot. Jamie, Zoe, and the Doctor. And our cliffhanger. Do you remember that dream Jamie was having?
Yeah?
What was he being
Yep.
chased by in the dream?
A unicorn?
And that's our cliffhanger. Here's a unicorn.
And it's heading right for us!
I guess friendship really isn't magic.
Oh, God.
Shout out to you, Krista. Also, buy her book.
Back to the 11th hour.
hour.
Yeah, no, available
Available
on
now on
Amazon
Amazon.com.
bookshops.
Gonna get it out of the way.
Yes.
Keeping the trope alive!
Now
Keeping the book alive.
the-
It's a fantastic book.
So good. I can't wait for
The
her.
trio
Good
have
Man
different
Goes to
ideas how
Work
to do.
post.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to talk over that. Carry on.
Well, that's the end of episode 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, this poor pony that plays this unicorn.
Oh,
Oh.
God.
They made
Don't
they
tell
made a
me
mistake.
something sad.
No, it's not sad. They made a mistake with the pony that was playing the unicorn.
Uh-huh.
The director was ensured that they got a white pony to play this unicorn.
Uh-oh.
And the pony arrived on set and it was brown.
Oh, no. Don't tell me they painted the pony.
They had to slather it in white makeup.
Crap. Now hobbits are gonna turn up. Someone will get that.
It didn't hurt the pony in the slightest, but I just found it funny. It's like, now you should
Was
get
it
a
the
white
prancing
horse,
pony?
right, John? A white horse. I've got you, Steve. A white horse returns. What about that white horse? Oh, I couldn't find one, so here's a brown one.
God.
Was it the prancing pony? I might be getting my Lord of the Rings wrong.
No,
you're right,
Prancing
you're right.
Pony, yeah.
Okay, so it was not the painted pony.
Damn
it
it,
was
John,
the
you're
prancing-
fired.
So, I should also mention,
I
regarding
apologize
this,
to all the LOTR fans.
I should also mention regarding the story, it was intended to be 4 parts, but they made it 5. But the way they did the 5 parts is that each part after the first is slightly shorter than a regular Doctor Who. So instead of 25 minutes, you'll have like 19 minutes or 18 minutes.
This one's
Oh,
21
Such that
that's why I
minutes,
felt it went so
yeah,
fast.
and then
yeah,
the next three are much shorter. In fact, the last two I
yeah.
can hold the record for the shortest episodes.
Such that the time they shaved off of them ends up equaling about an extra part of Doctor Who. So
Hmm.
they're technically filming 4 parts,
You could
but
have shuffled this
they're
into 4
still
parts, but it would have been really weird.
rationing it out to 5. So
I don't mind it; it
that,
works.
that's interesting in the way they did it like that. So episode 3 then. How are we getting out of a unicorn about to impale us?
There's no such
They
thing as
stopped believing.
unicorns. There are no unicorns, did Ba Sing say.
They stop believing and they don't hold on to that feeling.
And it turns into a cutout.
So they deny that unicorns exist, and
It
it
turns
turns
into
the
a boss
unicorn
from
into
Donkey
a
Kong
cutout and they're
64.
saved.
And then it shoots lasers. It's metal.
What's the... What?
It doesn't shoot lasers. The 7th boss of Donkey Kong 64 is a cardboard cutout of King K. Rool.
Oh my god.
And it shoots lasers out of his
I would
eyes.
make another joke here, but it is a spoiler and I can't say it. But Frez, you know the one I'm thinking of.
Oh yeah, I was thinking of it too.
Yeah. So by now, the Doctor has figured out that they're being tested. And this is where they drop the name The Master. Not that one.
Not that one.
And
No relation.
the Doctor actually praises the Master's intelligence.
Not that one.
And he says, we're dealing with a formidable intellect here. He says, and the Master returns the compliment. He says, well, thank you. And the same for you. And he says to somebody we don't see that they were right to choose the Doctor. Intriguing.
Very intriguing. So, also intriguing, Jamie makes the same damn mistake he did before. He sees a red coat, he pulls out his knife, he charges right in, and gets shot and turns into a car.
If you were enjoying Hamish Wilson's performance as the new Jamie, too bad, so sad because he's gone again.
Yeah. And this is where we play the face puzzle again, and Zoe realizes, oh, you fucked this up last time.
So she helps him this time.
So she helps, and they get it right. And hey, look at that. Fraser Hines is back. He's all better now.
Also, I have the feeling that this would make a great game show if you ever want to break up couples. Is have them try to remake their face using cardboard cutouts.
I thought
It
you
would
should
be
get shot
so
by a guy
evil.
dressed up as a red cover. That's a bit dark even for you.
Well, no, that part wouldn't happen because legally we wouldn't be able to do that. We'd have to shoot the red coat.
So the redcoat was guarding a door into an underground cave, and inside we find a ball of twine. And hey, what are we gonna do with a ball of twine in a cave with multiple twisty passages?
One could almost say it was a labyrinth of sorts.
Ba-da-ba-ba.
How are they going to get out? Are they going to do their dance magic dance?
Well, you remind me of the Babe.
Oh, babe.
The Babe with the power.
I haven't seen that movie enough to finish the rest of the bit, but you know.
What power? The power of voodoo. Who do you do? Do what? Remind me of the Babe.
Thank you, Kat. I should
will never
view that.
forget that.
Of
Is it one of those so bad it's good films, Labyrinth, or is it actually genuinely good?
It's genuinely good.
Because I've not seen it in a long time.
It's genuinely good.
Okay, that wasn't
And
me being
anybody who
snarky.
says
Like,
otherwise, I'm going to come to your house.
I'm not being snarky. Like, oh, how could you like that? No, I genuinely don't know if it's good or not.
No, it's good.
Okay,
It's good.
I'll try and catch that
I
sometime.
will say though, hey, what was the episode we did last time?
Creature from the
Creature
Pit?
in the Pit.
What was the first thing that Romana found inside the TARDIS
Oh,
in
yeah.
the first episode?
We did it again!
We did it again.
We fucking did it again. We have another fucking wheel of twine in a labyrinth. And you know what a labyrinth has, usually?
Minotaurs.
So kind
So-
of funny that for the second time in a row we found a ball of twine meant to use in a labyrinth.
Yeah.
Well, the Doctor and Co. wander around and they use the string to figure out where they're at. And Zoe's like charting out where they're going, like mathematically or something to that effect. But they run on a thread, so then they split up. And the
You know
doctor and
what they're
Zoe,
working.
the doctor and Zoe go off ahead, and they find the skeleton. And they mentioned the scary Minotaur as they hear roars and there's shadows on the wall and shit. Ooh, it's very, very scary. It's a horrible beast in this labyrinth.
And then we come
And
back
it's,
to Jamie.
and it's not David Bowie.
Hey, you calling David Bowie a horrible beast?
No,
Do we need to have words?
I was going to say, we're
No.
going to have words.
I
listen,
think we're gonna have words.
Do
after
not
this.
I
diss the
love
Thin
Zig-
White
I-
Duke.
Listen, I like Ziggy Stardust as much as the next person. That's a banger album, The Spin.
Do not diss the Thin White Duke.
Exactly. May he rest in peace.
Indeed.
So, he hears the roars and he starts to head to, go help them when one of the tin soldiers comes by. And at that point, he realizes what's going on with these soldiers and that the little round circle that they have on their helmets are cameras. And that's how the soldiers are able to tell where they are. So what he does is he takes off his jacket and he throws it on the soldier's head, covering up the camera, so then he can get away from it.
Smart.
Very smart.
I kind of hope it was his cousin in that soldier costume.
That would have been fun. Anyway, here's some more 60s gonzo bullshit. Here's their take on the Minotaur. Bless.
I actually quite like this.
Bless.
Because
They tried.
originally you can't see anything. It's just a shadow on the wall.
I wish they had stuck just the
And they should
shadow
have stuck
on
to
the
it
wall.
to the shadow on the wall because
Oh, don't do that. Then you wouldn't have this. This is comedy gold.
if
Look
you're
at it.
listening to this, if you're just listening to this, I implore you to just look at the screen right now.
Look at it.
Just take
look at
in
it.
the glory of this Minotaur. Because that's
some
exactly
peaks.
what a Minotaur does not look like. But please take it in.
Oh, that's some peak 60s gonzo right there. Oh, God. Well,
It does
anyway,
not look like it's stoned out of its mind.
Anyway, how are we going to get out of this one, Rainiac?
There are no Minotaurs in Ba Sing Se.
Oh, look at that. It's gone. Well, isn't that great?
Yeah, the doctor says that they made it too difficult for him to stay. So these creatures can't be around if people think they don't exist.
That's
They use the
really
power
strange.
of mind bullets.
Now,
That's telekinesis,
really
Cat.
strange. Why would there be a place where some sort of creature can be eradicated by not believing it exists? Oh, hey, it's that stranger again.
Yeah, and this is where we get the big reveal. So after some pleasantries being exchanged between the stranger and the doctor, we can stop calling him the stranger at long last because the doctor figures out who this man is. He asks him if he's been to
Before you
Nottingham.
say who he is, let's describe how he finds out.
Yeah.
Because let's see if our viewers can also figure it out. If
He
they haven't
asks
seen
him
the
if he's
episode
been to
yet.
Nottingham.
And of course, the man answers yes, he does come from Nottingham. And he begins to recite word for word some certain opening lines, which the doctor also knows. Because this man is Gulliver from
Yep.
Gulliver's Travels.
Wait,
Welcome,
what?
everybody, to the land of fiction, where everything is made up and the points don't matter.
Yeehaw!
Speaking of fiction, if you happen to love fiction stories, then man, can I tell you about this great little game console called the Xbox? It will make sure to take you to a world far, far away from here.
Cat.
I don't think
Yep.
I don't think the Xbox features in this story, Cat.
Why are you guys talking about the Xbox?
No reason.
So, Land of Fiction, yeah.
I love this concept.
And
Yes.
before we really get into that, I should also say that the reason Gulliver was talking so weird is because now I haven't really gone through the book, so I don't know if it actually is totally reflected in the writing. But every line of dialogue Bernard Horsfall says supposedly is a line from Gulliver's Travels.
I think there's just one line that isn't, and it's kind of important to the story in part 5. Other than that, it's all from Gulliver's Travels.
So real creative writing there, and just like the
Yeah.
guy, the writer must have had a copy of Gulliver's Travels, and he's flipping through it and like, okay, then he can say that fits the situation I'm going for.
Hey guys, I have a great idea for Doctor Who serial. What's that, Larry? Plagiarism. Just saying.
They will have gotten the rights for all of these things.
I mean,
I'm
also
sure,
like,
I'm sure some of these were public domain, but also, come on.
let's. I just want to mention, if I ever wrote Doctor Who fan fiction, one of the stories I would do is the land of fiction trying to abolish copyright.
That sounds amazing. Pitch the big finish immediately.
I did the next best thing. I pitched a similar version to Krista, and I think she's making something with it.
Krista, pitch the big finish immediately.
Pitch it to Disney immediately, so maybe they change that fucking law that they had changed so that we can't use any public domain stuff. Seriously. Just let the mouse go. Let it go. You can't hold it back anymore.
So, yeah, Gulliver can only talk in lines that his author wrote for him. And, all this shit, all this fictional bullshit, like myths like the Minotaur and unicorns, and actual, honest-to-God fictional characters like Gulliver are real in this universe.
Yep.
And this is why you needed that surreal bullshit to get us into a universe where fictional characters are real, because if you just landed here, like I said, it wouldn't have nearly the effect.
Yep.
But now it's just like a surreal acid trip.
Yeah, because it's fantastic, because they are literally outside reality and into fiction. It's fantastic.
And the reason why this works so well is that the writer was not a science fiction writer.
Mm-hmm.
And he was actually worried that because he wasn't a science fiction writer, it was going to be terrible. And one of his fellow writers assured him, he said, just leave the science fiction stuff to the rest of us, and then, just write a really good story. And he did.
Yeah! Yeah! If only they had said that to a certain other person who wasn't a sci-fi writer. Isn't that right?
Who are we dunking on today?
Forrest.
I see.
He kind of redeemed himself with a smile a bit.
Not that much.
It's better than Forrest.
Yes, it's better than Forrest, but also, fuck Forrest. Just fuck it.
Mm-hmm.
You want to do Doctor Who meets fantasy? You do this serial.
Yeah. Or Robot of Sherwood, actually.
Yeah.
No.
I enjoyed that one.
Robot of Sherwood is fine.
I wasn't that big of a fan.
Fair enough.
So, meanwhile, while we're getting this revelation, Jamie has gotten out of the cave, and he's outside, and he's climbing up a cliff to get away from the toy soldiers. And then he hits a cliff that's too sheer for him to climb. So, how the hell am I going to get up that? Oh, it's a convenient rope. Well, I'll just climb this and... Wait, it's not a rope.
Can I just say, as soon as I saw it, I immediately called what it was, because I got into the mindset.
He says out
Once
loud...
you get into the mindset, you know.
He says out loud he really needs a rope.
Yeah.
And then a rope magically appears. But it's not a rope. It is, in fact, hair.
I wonder what fictional character has long hair that you can climb like a rope.
Dixie Kong. Wait, what?
Quite obviously, it's Cinderella.
Bayonetta! Shit, no.
No, it's Rapunzel. It's quite obviously Rapunzel.
Yeah.
It's Rapunzel. And she's up here in a castle, and Jamie just climbs right up to the window. And she's like, "Are you a prince?" "No." "Oh, damn. I was hoping you'd be a prince."
Son? No, damn.
But anyway, he convinces her to let him into the castle. He just says, I'm just going to be passing through, so I won't cause any trouble. So he hops into the castle, and hey, this is actually pretty futuristic for a medieval castle where someone like Rapunzel...
I love it so much.
Can I just say...
just gone.
Can I just say that Rapunzel... The actress they got to play Rapunzel looks the part perfectly here.
Yeah.
She looks like a Disney princess.
She's fantastic.
Now, and so then we get to the episode 3 cliffhanger, and this is real fun. So Jamie's wandering around, and he finds this machine spitting out ticker tape. And apparently Jamie found the Kindle because
Oh, come on. You can't skip over the room in general. The room
Yeah,
in
the room's
general is just
great.
fantastic.
go ahead, talk about the room in general, please.
The entire room is almost like a museum of literature. There's a screen where when he turns it on, there's Treasure Island. There's a recording, which when he plays it, it's Little Women. There are different drawers that are labeled with different stories and magazines like Vanity Fair, Don Quixote, The
Yep.
Pen and the Pendulum, all sorts of cool things. And then he finds the ticker machine,
Mm.
which this scene is just so cool because it's like, oh my gosh, I'm such a literary nerd.
It's yeah, this is definitely a playground for a literary nerd.
It definitely is.
This story, but the ticker tape that this machine's spitting out is actually, honest to God, describing what is happening to the Doctor and Zoe right now.
Well, kind of.
Kinda.
Yeah.
It does make some mistakes.
This is very meta.
I love
I
it.
like it.
I love meta. I love meta so much.
We're kind of all fans of meta here, so
Oh God, yeah.
this is ticking all the boxes. But our
As a
cliffhanger then.
writer,
Our cliffhanger
as a
then.
writer,
Sorry, go on.
as a writer, I will say I refuse to write metafiction because every metafiction story I've ever read, like your Alan Wakes your stuff, is basically just I'm a writer and I'm writing metafiction. Oh shit, my metafiction came true. So
Well,
like,
you need to read more Deadpool then, because he just takes the meta and runs with it.
Even
I love it.
yeah.
even Digimon had meta breaking stuff.
Well, that's a cheesy dub. So
No. Japanese version as well.
oh okay.
The first two series of Digimon are a TV show watched by the characters in the third series of Digimon.
Well, that's wild.
Sounds about right.
And one of the characters
Okay.
even references that he's a real tamer now because he's wearing goggles.
Oh my God.
And then they include
So-
a character from a game in the Series 2 universe in Series 3, and the metafiction media just exploded. I apologise.
What in the fuck? Jeez.
It's wild.
Spoilers for Digimon, by the way, if you haven't seen it.
It's not a spoiler because people will not know who this guy is. If you don't know that game, it doesn't reveal anything. I haven't said who the
I
character
will
is.
say, my favorite season of Digimon were the ones where they could actually merge with their Digimon. I don't remember what it was called, but I've been trying to find it again.
I think that's the fourth one.
I have no idea.
It's Power Rangers
but I
meets
love that
Digimon.
one.
It's Power Rangers meets Digimon.
Pretty much, yeah.
Right.
And now I've got the Digimon theme stuck in my head.
The best
Fuck.
one is season 3.
Do they have
dumb as hell.
a Miramon in Digimon?
I knew
Probably.
you son of a bitch.
Do they? Hang on.
Probably.
I knew it. You son of a bitch.
Digimon.
And I'm
Make sure
sorry,
to search on Bing.
the podcast has to pause here while Frezno searches on Google.
What is this Google that you're speaking of? I only know of Bing.
'Cause you
The greatest
can't-
search engine to ever
Oh
appear.
please! Everyone knows Microsoft Edge is where it's at. Wait, what?
I wholeheartedly agree with you, my friend.
Hey, Brainiac.
Let me
Oh,
guess.
God.
Hey, Brainiac.
There's a Miramon.
That was fast.
Oh yeah. He's
Yep.
actually from the series that Cat's talking about, the full series.
Yep. Yep, I remember him.
He's a dick.
He was scary, if I remember
He's
correctly.
a dick. He traps people
Brainiac.
in him. Yes.
Hey, Brainiac. I
Yes.
found
Oh,
another
no.
one.
Oh god, his name's literally Miramon. Wait a minute, that's not a Digimon, that's just a Heartless.
Yeah, that does look like a Heartless.
That's literally a Heartless, what the hell?
Why don't we talk about the cliffhanger of episode 3?
Please, let's do that, because I want to move away from mirrors, oh my god.
Yeah, let's move away from mirrors. real quick.
Can I just say, we can never, ever let Prez anywhere near the Kingdom Hearts series, because there's so much mirroring in that he will implode.
He will
Literally.
explode, yes.
I somehow played the first game and managed to survive, so.
No.
Trust me, once
After
you start
2,
getting
it
into
goes
the
into
later games,
overdrive.
you're going to explode. You're going to explode.
See.
What is tame compared to 2 and everything that comes beyond 2?
Yeah. 2 is where it starts to go kind of gonzo, and then for some reason they made like 15 billion games, and Nomura could just go hog wild on them.
People are freaking out about the end of Union Cross, which is a mobile app.
Yeah,
Right.
there's a mobile app which is canon to the series. That's how fucked this shit is.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Let's talk about the episode 3 cliffhanger.
Yeah, the episode 3
Oh, and let's
cliffhanger.
also mention the fact that you have to play all of these games to understand what the hell is going on.
Or watch someone play it, but yes.
And it took them like 15 years for them to finally make Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah.
And yet, people like Super Butter Buns are still super into this series.
Don't get into the series, Frez. It will destroy your life like it's destroyed mine.
I played one game, that was enough for me.
Fair enough.
Anyways, the Doctor and Zoe come face to face with Medusa.
They do.
Oh shit! Oh shit! It's a Medusa. How are we gonna get out of that one? Oh well, why don't we say it doesn't exist? Oh, but this time it seems so real that I can't just say it doesn't exist. Oh no!
Yeah, Zoe is frightened about this. But the real cliffhanger is that Ray Harryhausen files a lawsuit because this stop motion. This stop motion is actually great, but this is just Ray Harryhausen.
I mean, if you're gonna do like a Medusa, you gotta do it Ray Harryhausen style.
I'm not disputing that, but I'm sure he must have at least been annoyed about this if he found out about it.
Maybe he didn't. Maybe they just got away with it.
It's a good stop motion.
Yeah.
It actually holds up even now.
It's decent for the time.
So
It's not, the six-armed Kali fighting Sinbad in a film with Tom Baker in it, but it's pretty good.
yeah. So some people have commented on the fact that the cliffhanger to episode 3 should have ended with Jamie reading the thing and then the Medusa came to life and the Doctor and Zoe were doomed. Oh no!
No, I like the way it does it.
It works. It still works. So we get into episode 4 and how are we going to resolve this?
Oh, hey, who dropped this sword?
But this is also another test. Because the Doctor's like, oh, a sword, I can kill it. Wait, but how can I kill something that doesn't exist? You kind of being tricky there. Because if you try to get it with this...
Technically, the Doctor failed this test by not using the sword.
Did he?
Yeah.
He
Because the whole
fails it,
time,
yes.
Jamie's reading the ticker machine. And the story on the ticker machine says, not all is lost. Suddenly the Doctor found a sword at his feet, picked it up, and with one shake slew the monster. But quite obviously the Doctor doesn't do that. Instead, what does he pull out, Frez?
Oh.
Well, I mean, it's Medusa. Hey, Rainiac, you're the mythology expert. How did Perseus defeat the Medusa?
He got his shield, which was polished to a real sheen, and he looked at the monster in it, and it didn't turn into stone.
A sheen? Now, what would you call an object like that?
She turned it...
Shield.
A shield, yeah.
But what would you call the sort of polish that would let you see the Medusa?
A shiny
through the
reflective
shield?
surface.
A reflective surface. All right, if you're not going to say it, I'm going to say it.
It's a
shiny
mirror.
reflective surface like a... Oh, you said it. Doctor Who mirror alert. Whoop, whoop, whoop,
Doctor Who
whoop,
shiny
whoop,
reflective
whoop.
surface alert. Whoop, 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 whoop.
But yes, he pulls out a mirror and turns it towards Medusa. They look at the Medusa and then it turns to stone. And then as
Hooray.
Jamie is reading the stock ticker machine, it starts to go haywire, repeating over and over, cancel, the Doctor test report, failure.
Overload, overload, too many changes. No, I don't believe it.
Now see, later in the story, I would argue that the Doctor actually did the right thing here because passing the test would have been bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll find that out later, but for now...
So he does the right thing for them, but in context of him failing the test, he did actually fail the test that was given to him.
Right. It was also, I will argue later, a trap. But
Yeah.
Jamie manages to trip a silent alarm, like a little tripwire laser sort of deal, in a doorway.
It's not that silent because it is letting off a very loud sound.
Yeah. And Gulliver shows up again,
Hey!
and Jamie ends up hiding in the closet as, oh shit, it's those robots from the void. They're here.
And Gulliver can't see these things either.
Yeah.
He offers no help to Jamie, but at least he doesn't give him away this time.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Thankfully, Jamie is only in the closet for one part rather than several parts, like a certain person who was trapped in the closet before.
What?
Wow.
Oh my god.
Wow.
I'll send you the music video later, Frez. Well, videos. Well, whatever.
Oh,
I'll send you
oh,
one of them.
oh, fuck! Oh, fuck!
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, did you not get that?
No! I was thinking in Doctor Who terms. I'm like, are you trying to say something about a Doctor Who person?
Nope. I'm talking about a literal trapped in the closet.
No, but he did put Hitler in the cupboard, so there is that.
Yeah. So, okay, now we get a great scene. The Doctor and Zoe get out of the cave, and they're outside, but another fictional character comes to harass them.
Oh, this is amazing.
So, this big strongman superhero, like Superman knockoff, shows up, and Zoe recognizes him as the Carcass.
Marcus!
Yeah, so,
It's this
and
big
what-
German man in a muscle suit with a Zorro-like mask on his face.
and he's got this, like, anti-molecular ray disintegrator or some technobabble bullshit like that. And the Doctor's like, and so Zoe's like, look out, Doctor, he's got an anti-molecular ray disintegrator. And the Doctor's like, that's bullshit! Nothing like that exists! And the gun just vanishes from his hand.
And the Carcass growls at him for this.
Well, the Doctor has a problem now.
I love this. I love this part again. This
the
whole thing
usual-
is amazing.
Yeah, this is so good. The usual strategy of, oh, he doesn't exist, it's a fictional character, to make him disappear, doesn't work, because the Doctor's never heard of the Carcass, and so he can't reliably believe that this is actually a fictional character, or just a real dude who likes to wear a super suit and talk in the German accent. So, this guy's ready to kick his ass. But luckily, Zoe's here.
How are we going to solve this problem? Well, it's fine. The Doctor tags in Zoe, and Zoe wrestles with the Carcass.
Oh, God!
She doesn't just wrestle with him. She fucking judo flips him over and over again. And it's the best thing ever.
Yeah, at one time the actor playing the Carcass misses his cue. So it just goes over with Zoe not there.
Oh my god. And the Carcass is like, rings the bell, rings the bell. It's no DQ, motherfucker.
I quit.
So he's like, do you submit? Do you submit? He's like, yes, uncle.
You'll win by submission, and you will heavyweight champion Zoe.
Hell yeah. So, as it turns out, Zoe knows the Carcass. He is a comic strip character from her time.
Yep. From like newspapers and stuff, which surprisingly they still had newspapers then.
I mean, that's the future as
she calls it the telepress. The telepress.
Yeah, but you still,
So it's like futuristic newspapers, but yes.
If they were making the story today, he'd be some sort of meme cartoon on Twitter.
If they made this today, Pepe the Frog would be in this.
Oh, fuck no!
Oh my god, there'd be so many anime waifus.
Shout out to that train car of Madoka just getting killed.
The Doctor is standing on a cliff overlooking the land, and Zoe walks up to him. Doctor, what's that shadowy place over there? That's Zoe's the land of hentai. Do not go there.
Oh my...
Note to self, pitch, land of this too big, finish.
The land of hentai?
No, the Doctor versus anime, not hentai. The land of the anime section of the land of fiction, but
funny thing, the other idea I pitched to Krista was one of the companions beating their old OC they made when they were 14.
Oh jeez, yeah.
Yes, and speaking of which, the Carcass is Zoe's slave now. What?
I mean, I guess things be like that in the year 2000.
Zoe flubs her
Girl
line here.
power? Question mark.
Hashtag feminism.
Anyway,
Hashtag confused
the
as an
carcass
feminism.
takes him up to the front door of this big castle,
Zoe does
citadel, what
flub her
have
line
you.
here, but again, she was out of breath.
And I like the doctor's gambit here. They send the carcass away, and then they just sort of ring the bell, and the doctor like has pulls Zoe under him and puts his cloak on, and when the whoever's at the door answers, who is it? Like name and affiliation, and the doctor's like, the carcass comic strip, yeah, 2000. I was like,
And it
come on in,
works.
buddy.
Wendy Pepper did not like fighting with Christopher Robbie,
Damn.
but she admits that the catsuit, that the silver catsuit was good because it was comfortable to fight in.
Hell yeah.
She didn't like fighting with the guy, but when she had to do it, at least she was comfortable doing it.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay, she's in there because of artistic vision, but at least it had a practical use for it. I'm not excusing it. I'm just saying there was a practical use for it as well.
Right. So everyone's reunited. The Doctor, Zoe, and Jamie, and also Gulliver is here. And they hop over the tripwire so they don't set off the alarms and all that shit. And Gulliver, in his dialogue, implores the Doctor to leave this place. Don't hang around. It's only bad things will happen if you hang around here.
Make peace
And
with
the
the
Doctor
master.
and the Doctor promises, I'll think it over. And Gulliver's satisfied and he leaves, and the Doctor's like, okay, I thought it over. We're staying. And then Patrick Troughton gets a great line here, which
Yes.
he says, when someone writes about something after it happens, that's history. But when the writing comes first, that's fiction.
Yeah.
Yes.
That hits.
And he's explaining this and explaining how the not using the sword was a good thing, because if they had done what the ticker said and they'd have fallen into the trap, and they'd have become fictional by writing themselves into the story and following their role.
Yes. I love this. I love this so
Becoming
much.
fictional is like this existential horror that crops up here in the last two episodes.
And they do play it as horror as well.
Oh yeah, it's wild. Just that
Well, I
thought
mean,
of
it is
becoming
horror.
fictional.
It really is horror because it's kind of like what the Cybermen do with forcibly converting people. You lose all of your individuality and what makes you special. You just become someone else's vision for something.
Yeah.
So it's like the person could rewrite, Zoe to be, a mercenary or something, and she would just have to go along with it because she technically does not exist.
Fictional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's high time that we confront this master of the land of fiction. So they trip the alarm, the robots come, take me to your leader, and here he is.
And it's
And
an old guy.
It's this old guy with glasses. He's just like, oh, hi, Doctor. Good work acing all of our tests so far. So this guy, I don't think he actually has a name, but, he was actually just a regular, ordinary guy, a writer from 1926, who fell asleep and woke up in the land of fiction and got drafted as its controller
He wrote over 500,000 words.
for a boys' magazine. 5,000 words a week for 25 years.
The ensign.
And it's actually his brain is being used as the source for the creativity which controls the land of fiction.
Because as he explains, that the machine that's behind him that's using him lacks something that people, humans have, which is imagination.
The way he phrases it is weird. He says only a human has the power to create fiction. I'm like, hang on now. Aliens are fucking
He
inventive.
doesn't just say that only humans. He says only man. Only
Yeah.
a man is capable of
Hey,
imagination.
now, come
That's
on.
where the sexism comes in.
Hey, come on now.
There were female writers
1968,
before this. The Bronte sisters and Jane Austen and Louisa May
Mary
Alcott.
Shelley.
Mary Shelley, Beatrix Potter. This is just turning into that bit from when Norway beat England. He shouts about how they've beaten them all, and your voice took hell of beating Maggie Thatcher. But
It's like we could probably say this is just them using man like mankind in a very general sense.
I think that's
But
it.
the way
Yeah.
that he says it, the way he says it makes it seem like only men are capable
I don't
of
think it's
this level
intended
of
to be
imagination.
sexist, but it is sexist.
It's kind of like how Star Trek did Where No Man Has Gone Before for
Yeah.
its opening before. And
And
now
the
it's...
plethora of D&D style characters that I have in my head would like to give you all the middle finger.
There you go.
Especially my swashbuckling Alex. Shout out to Chris. She knows who Alex is and she loves him.
Ginny D cosplaying as Jester would like to give you all the middle finger right now.
No, he would just give everybody the middle finger in general.
I've got an elven archer who would perforate this master for being a sexist bastard.
Shout out to Ginny D, by the way.
Now, see, I love Alexander because he is the smarmiest guy with a heart of gold, but also he's not good at shooting things. So everybody's like, do not let him get a gun ever, but somehow he always has one on him and nobody can figure out how.
I just had a horrible thought that nobody on this podcast is going to get but you and possibly Kat. Oh, Mike will get it too. Imagine any of my goddamn NaNoWriMo protagonists being in this land of fiction.
Oh my god.
Fucking Danielle Dean versus the Daleks.
Oh my god, this would make such a good D&D story.
Oh, big finish.
A big finish. Hi, me. Hello. I've got an archfascist.
No, screw big finish. I'm gonna make you guys go into this in D&D at some point.
I mean, okay, we can fuck around with that.
The Master's original character, by the way, was Captain Jack Harkaway.
Harkaway, not Harkness.
Yeah, Harkaway.
Harkaway.
Very important distinction there.
Yeah. So, it basically, whatever's powering this land of fiction needs human creativity as a source, a power source. And, hey, the Doctor is... Well, he claims he's ageless here because, well, they haven't really established Time Lord rules and shit like that. I mean, we don't even know what the fuck turned William Hartnell into Patrick Troughton at this point, so...
Yeah.
So, you could claim that he's, like, ageless and immortal. It's like, oh, so basically we've been testing you because you're the perfect fit to take over as the power source of the land of fiction.
Was he an alien at this point, or did they still try to do the whole human thing?
Probably still, like, a human from the far future.
Okay.
I don't really know if they did alien.
Because that part was kind of
touch and
confusing. Because he specifically says that they need a human to do it. And it's like,
yes.
The Doctor's not human, I'm afraid.
Well,
I was wondering if that was established yet.
It's touch and go. If they want him to be like a human from the future and bullshit, they can basically do that.
Frez, correct me on this if I'm wrong, but I believe they really start to hammer that out during the Third Doctor's tenure.
Yeah, I mean, the Third Doctor's intro story, the last of the Second Doctor introduces the Time Lords. And then in the Third Doctor's intro, and there's an entire plot point about how, hey, this guy's got two hearts. That's a weird alien bullshit thing.
Yeah, because isn't like the end of the Second Doctor him being punished by the Time Lords and then getting exiled to Earth?
Yep,
that's what happens. Anyway, the Doctor refuses, but it's basically like, you don't really have a choice here, shit brains. You're gonna do it whether you like it or not. And Jamie and Zoe have run off, and they're trying to escape the robots. And they get cornered. And this motherfucker, he basically is like, oh, I already wrote the cliffhanger for your two friends. Take a look at this. And the cliffhanger is Jamie and Zoe get cornered by the robots and pushed into a giant book. And the book shuts on them, and they become fictional.
Dun dun dun.
take a look. They're in a book. Something pure imagination.
So now we're on episode 5, and this is just peak gonzo here. This shit. So Jamie and Zoe are now fictional, but the Master's like, well, if you take over, that can be the first thing you do is change them back. So come on, hook yourself up. I ain't doing it. I ain't doing it, man. I'm not becoming the master of this place. The hell with you. Oh, well, I'll just have my robots get you. Well, you know what robots can't do? They can't climb! And the doctor climbs out of there.
Yep.
Hey, it works.
So, it works.
So they play a game with each other, the Master and the Doctor. Not that one.
That one. Well,
I can see
that
the
doesn't
Master.
quite happen yet.
I can see the Master that one doing this, but it's not that one.
That doesn't quite happen just yet, but yeah, the doctor climbs up. He's on like the roof of the castle, and he finds Jamie and Zoe, and they're basically just repeating themselves because they're fictional now. So it's sort of like Oliver rules. They can't really say anything more than what their creator has already written.
They can only say what was in the script before now, which again is meta, but I like it.
Yeah,
I love it so much.
So the doctor sees like a window there. It's like a skylight. And down below is a typewriter, auto typing. It's like the source of this place. If I could get down there and write some fiction of my own, I might be able to counteract that master. But the gate won't open. I can't get it open. I need superhuman strength to get that thing open.
Hi, Carcass.
Hi, Carcass. How you doing?
Hey, can you lift this thing for me? Yeah, I lift it.
And then Rapunzel happens to be there as well, which...
Yeah, he's looking down.
It's even funnier than that. So it's like, it says, oh, I need a rope. Could you find me a rope, Carcass? And Carcass says, holding Rapunzel.
Convenient. So
she's like, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
At least everybody's nice and asks if they can use her hair.
Yeah, Carcass does it. Carcass just grabs it from hyperspace.
I love the way I think it's either in the Jamie scene or in this scene where the doctor asks, and Rapunzel's like, "Oh, sure, you can use my hair. Everyone does." She's just so casual about it. But the doctor climbs down to this typewriter, and he's thinking of what he's going to type. He's going to type something along the lines of, and then the doctor handily got in the TARDIS and went away. But then he's like, "Wait, shit!
The enemy
I can't write myself into the story. If I write myself into the fictional story, I'll become fictional."
The enemy had finally been defeated by the Doctor.
Yeah.
So he was very close to actually doing it. The Master was, hoping that he would, to the point where there's actually a soldier observing him while he's trying to do this. So quite obviously, he was led to this point. He was led to come to this window. So the Master could try to get him to do it.
That doesn't work.
No.
But meanwhile, the Master, no, not that one, summons his fictional characters, Jamie and Zoe, and basically decides to write a little fan fiction of his own. He writes and basically says, "Oh, hey, the Doctor's the most evil person, and you have to stop him." And they go along with it because they're his fictional characters.
And how are we going to stop the Doctor?
If I could just read this out, he specifically writes, Jamie and Zoe realize at last that the Doctor was actually the most monstrous and cunning villain. There was no punishment too severe for the crimes he had committed. And then they repeat that back to him, and I just love that.
It's quite chilling.
Damn.
It is.
Because these are his friends.
Yep. It's like, unfortunately, while the Doctor was getting back on the rooftop and saw that Jamie and Zoe are gone, the kids are back.
Yeah, I was going to say, how are we going to stop the Doctor? Shit, kids.
And Gulliver's here, too.
Gulliver doesn't do anything here.
Yeah. Well, then Jamie and Zoe show up, and the TARDIS is here. Oh, thank God. Oh, Doctor, hop on in. We can get out of here. We're finally able to escape. And then the way that the two of them push him in, and they back up, and they've got these like shit-eating grins. We got him. And then the TARDIS turns into a cardboard cutout and falls down, and the Doctor is trapped in this glass case. And all the kids laugh at him. Ha ha ha, you fell for it. It was a trap all along.
Oh no, the Doctor's encased in a glass case of emotion.
So they wheel this glass case back in with the Master. And the Master's just gloating. He's like, well, now you can't fight because you've been incorporated into the computer itself.
Big mistake.
And then we get a bit of a weird turn for me.
A bit?
Not that. I'm not talking about that. That's obviously very gonzo, and we'll get to it. I'm talking about the part where the Master says, basically, that they're going to take over planet Earth.
Yeah, this one is kind of weird.
They're going to
Yeah,
turn
that's
all of humanity fictional.
yeah.
They will not be harmed. They'll just be fictional.
Well, I mean, I'd argue that's severe harm. You're
Well, this
destroying
is
every
their this is the
individual's
villain's
agency.
argument. This is the villain's argument.
Yeah.
Leaving the Earth empty for them to take over. But what with? Are they going to fill it with fictional characters?
I
Here's my
guess.
question: why are they going to take over the Earth?
Because I suppose that's the plot they had to do in the 1960s.
Yeah, I mean, it's
That's
very
all I can
generic.
guess.
It's a very generic sort of thing where it's like, oh no, planet Earth is in danger. The stakes are high. It's
Every
a
villain was Pinky
weird.
in the Brain for some reason.
Yeah. It's a very out of left field thing for such a gonzo existential nightmare story to suddenly go, and then we'll take over the entire planet Earth, which hasn't been a concern of the Masters up to this point. So it's very
Yeah.
strange.
Yeah.
The best reading I could make is something about, like I said, copyright. Like, they created us and now we're going to take over them, turning on their creators.
Like,
I
what would have been cool is if the master was the one who was doing the plot here, and he wanted more people to be interested in his writing, since we were only told that he wrote for this kids magazine, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So a really cool aspect of this would be that he essentially took over the computer because of his, ingenious brain, and he's using the computer in order to make a land of people who will appreciate his works more than just a silly kids magazine.
Yeah, that would have fit the theme of the story a lot
we
more than
do
just
find out
and
though that the master's not in charge here. It is the computer.
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's why I'm saying it would be a lot more poignant if he was the one in charge and this is the reason he was doing it. But as it stands, all we know is just because.
Just because, yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. That would be a pretty good story. I mean, it would hinge on the whole
So
idea.
what was that about women not having imagination, Master? Because
Yeah. You're full of it.
Yeah.
y'all been served.
Take that, 1968.
Suck it.
Yeah. So, now, that aside, this is where we get to absolute just gonzo
This
bullshit.
is
heaven.
the whole reason I picked this.
You pick. Oh, it's so okay. So I'll set it up, and y'all can dive in and get the gonzo. So basically, the master is just like, haha, ooh, you can't fight back because the computer's feeding off of your thoughts, Doctor. So you can't resist now. You're going to become the boss of this place. And the doctor is like, oh, so the computer's feeding off my thoughts, eh? Well, what if I make a bunch of bullshit up to stop you?
And somehow neither the computer nor the master thought about this.
And so the doctor starts writing his own fiction, and the first thing he does, since he is hooked into the computer, is indeed he has Jamie and Zoe break free of the master's control, and they become real again.
They pushed their way out the book.
Mm-hmm.
And in the land of fiction, the children visualize this and Gulliver and Rapunzel as Jamie and Zoe walking away from them.
Interesting.
And they even say they're going away from us, they're leaving us, and that they're upset about this. But then, of course, when they're unfictionalized again, they still see Gulliver and Rapunzel.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then
But
it just
unfortunately,
goes.
Gulliver can't help them because it's not the will of his master.
And this just goes from 0 to 100.
So, Kat, yeah, you had the best description for this in your live watch, I think. So, why don't you take point for a little bit?
Well, I described it as these two little kids playing pretend, and they keep trying to one-up each other. So it's like, if you ever were a kid and playing something like freeze tag, and then someone said, "Tag, you're it," and then another person, the person who was tagged, was like, "No, I have a force field that protects me from being tagged." Well, I have this invisible dinosaur that eats force fields. Well, I have a laser cannon that destroys your dinosaur. It feels like that.
It is that.
Basically, what this is, and
It's so much fun.
It's top trumps.
We could also technically say that the Doctor and the Master are writing fan fiction.
That's what I wrote in my notes. They're just writing fan fiction to each other.
That's seriously what it's like because the Doctor's like, well, the carcass comes to the rescue. He takes his gun and destroys the soldiers. And then the master's like, no, he doesn't. The carcass realizes that Zoe and Jamie are the real enemy, and he starts to go for them. And then the master is like,
The doctor.
carcass is starting to pull the trigger of his gun. But then the doctor says, but the power had been used up, and he couldn't use the gun anymore. It's like, ugh, I love this.
And then
they start incorporating other fictional characters.
Yes.
so the master summons Cyrano de Bergerac, who was a real person.
And I know the whole point is not to laugh at the nose, but they make the nose so big in this that I started laughing
That's
so
absolutely
hard.
the point of it.
Yeah.
So Cyrano was a real life poet and master swordsman. And if anyone made fun of his nose, which was quite frequent, he challenged them to a duel, he would invariably win. So that's the idea. They've got this master swordsman. So how do we counter a master swordsman? Well, the doctor just summons
Musketeer.
D'Artagnan.
One of the three musketeers.
And this awesome sword fight happens.
It's rad.
While this epic
so
music, like probably 1950s epic movie music, plays in the background. While this is all going on, Jamie and Zoe
There
escape.
must have been somebody in the next studio over doing like a period drama or something where they have these sorts of sword fights, because this is so good.
It's like two really good sword fighters here.
Yes.
The choreography is excellent. In the midst of all this chaos, Jamie and Zoe get away using Rapunzel's hair for the final time.
Thanks, Rapunzel.
And then, why don't you take this next bit?
Okay, so then the master decides, okay, fuck Cyrano de Bergerac. All of a sudden, Blackbeard, the pirate, appeared with his cutlass.
Well, hot joke's on you, because I'm going to substitute this musketeer for Sir Lancelot in full armor.
Oh, shit!
Can we talk about the face Blackbeard makes?
Yeah.
When Lancelot takes his weapon from him?
It's so beautiful. I love it.
The master actually does pull a pretty good plan here. He just has the robots come for the doctor.
And then Gandalf the Grey and Gandalf the White and modified from the Holy Grail's Black Knight.
Okay.
This is the ultimate show.
This is just the ultimate showdown.
Okay, Rainiac, this is the Mind Robber, not Ready Player One.
Oh,
Oh.
you had to ruin it.
Well, anyways, it's actually the computer itself that decides that the doctor needs to be destroyed.
Okay.
He's just going to have the master stay, and the master's like, please, no, please.
I can't go
let
on much
me stay here."
longer.
This is also a very clever plan because, like we've established before, the doctor can't just write and then fucking I don't even know. I don't even know who he's having.
The doctor
not
escaped from
even
the room.
that.
I can't think that because I'll make myself part of the story.
Yeah,
So
he can't put himself in the story because then he'll become fictional. So he can't fan fiction his own rescue and escape.
he could have.
So-
He could have just written that the
literally
robots.
cannot write out. He escapes.
He could have just wrote out that the robots fell over and were useless. But he doesn't. And he
No,
doesn't because we have to allow Jamie and Zoe to save the day instead.
So
They have to do something.
So they hit every goddamn button they can and unplug the master from his controls.
And this is important because the last thing the master says before he's unplugged by the doctor from the console is destroy, destroy.
And the robots follow that instruction to a T, and they blow every goddamn thing up. They blow up all the controls in the computer.
Yep.
And so the doctor, Jamie, Zoe, and the unplugged master get out of Dodge, and the guy's back to normal now. He's just like, "Oh wait, what happened? I was taking a nap. What's going on here?"
It turns out that he's not entirely villainous.
Yeah, he was just a regular guy that got controlled by
But this time it
computer.
actually works to say he's not truly villainous because he
Oh
isn't.
my gosh. He's Wheatley.
Oh my god!
Yeah, he is just Wheatley.
Holy shit!
He is Wheatley though.
Oh my god. So, the end of the story, is that the land of fiction is self-destructing, and
Unfortunately.
somehow or another, this reassembles the TARDIS and everyone is safe and sound, at least until the next story, when another peril will face them. But that's the end of the mind robber.
The ending is just that the scene fades to black and it's like next week the invasion,
Yeah.
which is a very different story that we may cover one day. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so the master was not the villain. He was actually an innocent victim,
And it was this computer that was somehow making like fictional
and
characters
he's never seen again.
from
But
Earth.
he does get home. The implication is that he does get home.
Yeah.
It's not the end for the fictional characters, thank goodness, because they say you can't blow up a fictional character, Zoe.
Yeah.
So Gulliver, Rapunzel, and all the others will be okay,
Mm-hmm. Of
and
It's just that they might not have a physical form.
they do actually bring back the land of fiction in Big Finish,
course they
Oh.
do.
and they make it a Cyberman story
Oh.
What?
starring Colin
That's-
Baker
Oh. Oh, well, that's a roller coaster of emotion.
and guest
Land of fiction
starring
back.
the returning Wendy Padbury,
Oh.
and she basically, to stop the Cybermen invading, I think it might be the Earth, she writes them into the land of fiction. She brings them to the land of fiction. She becomes the mistress of the land of fiction.
Oh, wow.
And then a lot of very weird and wild, wacky things happen, which I'm not going to spoil. But
Okay.
I think it's called Legend of the
Interesting.
Cybermen.
Interesting. I mean, it's funny because well, yeah, you didn't say it, so I won't say it either.
Yeah.
Say what?
I'll tell you later, Kat.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's the mind robber. Who wants to take first play?
I'll go last since I suggested it.
Okay, I'll take first. I guess it's brilliant. 10 out of 10 Gonzo bullshit. Love it. Just I mean, okay, you got a little bit of sexism of the time, so not great. Maybe like a 9.5 out of 10, 9 out of 10 if you're number grading, but number grading is bullshit. But the rest of it, holy shit, is a surreal, inventive, meta-fictional, imaginative, absolutely buck wild gonzo story. I think I'd call it one of the best Patrick Troughton stories. I'd go there, yeah. It's incredible, and you owe it to yourselves to watch it. So, yeah, give it a spin. I don't really have much else to say. I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed the way it plays off fictionality and creativity. The whole "we're going to take over planet Earth" thing, a little odd, but I mean, you can read ways that it works if you really wanna, but otherwise it just feels weird. But I really dig it. So that's that. Cat.
I full-heartedly agree. I mean, obviously it has its problems. Like you said, the whole taking over the world thing doesn't make much sense, and some problems with some sexist stuff and, you know, art direction that we don't entirely agree with. But overall, I really enjoyed this. I happen to extremely love metafiction to the point where, do you guys know Doki Doki Literature Club?
I
Oh
haven't played that
my.
game because I'm actually scared of it.
Oh.
I'm terrified of it. I still played it because I love metafiction that much. It's
That
like how much am willing to go for metafiction stuff to the point where I'm terrified.
that game is a trip.
It is. It is a huge trip.
Yeah.
But it has like all the stuff that I love. I kind of wish that there were a few more different characters in there and not just a whole onslaught of them at the end and the two boys fighting over who has the best imaginary sword. Um because it would have been cool to see like different people filtering through, make it a little bit more busy. But I can understand that they had, time constraints and budget constraints and things like that. So I'm not, chomping at the bit for it. But I love it. I'm going to agree. I think this is one of the second Doctor's best serials.
Excellent.
So Rain.
Yeah, well, I picked this one, and it is just absolutely amazing. It it baffles me that people point to, say, Tomb of the Cybermen as the best Patrick Troughton serial when this exists.
This is a billion times better
This
than
and another
Yeah.
serial that we'll hopefully cover in one day that me and Frezno already did on his channel way back in the day are so much better than Tomb of the Cybermen.
Yep.
This just has so much imagination and charm to it. And I think the fact that it wasn't written by a science fiction writer helps. Because he just comes up with this really charming and completely out there and completely different story, and it works. This is Doctor Who taking a chance and the gamble paying off. We need more stories like this that, don't take the safe option. We need more Mind Robbers. We need more Sleep No Mores. We need more Heaven Sense. We need stories like this to really challenge us as an audience and give us something different. I can't gush about it enough. Yeah, all right, the sexism thing is unfortunate, and I'm not giving it a pass.
None of us are.
But it's far better than other problematic elements we've seen in other stories.
Yeah.
And I hear what you're saying about the fight at the end. They could have brought in more people, or they could have spaced them out better. I think that was more likely to do with copyright and licensing issues.
I'm sure.
I could somewhat agree if it wasn't for the fact that there are a lot of things that are public domain that they could have used. Like there are other princesses like I almost said Pocahontas. That's not one of them. Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, Cinderella.
I think they get the balance right, just about. Bear in mind this was made on a 60s budget.
Well, yeah, that's why I said I excuse it, because I know there was a budget involved.
The one character you wouldn't get in the land of fiction is Sherlock Holmes, because they are ridiculous about the copyright.
Isn't he public domain now, or?
Parts of him are public domain, but you can't. They actually tried to sue Netflix. The Holmes estate tried to sue Netflix, or the Conan Doyle estate tried to sue Netflix, because Enola Holmes, their Netflix movie starring the girl from Stranger Things.
Uh-huh.
Millie Bobby Brown.
Thank you, Millie Bobby Brown, as his sister Enola. It has Holmes showing emotions, and you can't write a story with Holmes showing emotions, because that's the later stories that were not licensed.
Oh.
It's ridiculous. It got to the point that to get around it, the Ace Attorney devs made their Sherlock Holmes character Herlock Sholmes.
Yeah, I remember that.
And there's actually a series of books featuring Herlock Sholmes before he was in Ace Attorney, specifically to get around this copyright.
Well, I mean, there's other things that they could have done. It's like they could, do what the English do best and appropriate things from other countries.
No, that's the Roman Empire.
Oh, no, trust me, it's the English one too.
The Roman Empire did it first.
So where did you get all that stuff in your museums from again?
The Roman Empire did it first.
Where are the royal jewels from again?
All right, but the Roman Empire did it first.
I mean, I'm just dunking on England today. It's fantastic.
We are the yeah. We've just gone 5 meters below sea level. Please stop dunking on us. You're going to flood us.
Oh,
Look,
God.
I had an entire year where all I could do was very sadly dunk on America and how horrible it is. I need some relief.
Sad ye whoring.
And we can't dunk on Canada because it's Canada.
I mean, there are things you can dunk on about
We can
Canada.
dunk on Canada, but Canada
little,
just won't pay attention.
they're a little too serious for this podcast, but you can absolutely dunk on Canada for some bullshit.
Wait, no, I know something that we can dunk on that's technically in Canada, Quebec.
Well, minus the poutine. You leave the poutine alone.
You have a leaf on your
We
flag.
would definitely leave the poutine alone.
You have
It's
a
just
leaf on the
Quebec
Canadian
in
flag. Who does that?
The Quebecois, yeah. Go ahead.
I'm not actually dunking on Canada.
Me, all the people who are watching this in Quebec, I dare you.
We are joking.
I'm not.
We are joking. She's not.
Come to America if you want an ass kicking.
Come to work for 30 minutes. It was an ass kicking.
Anyways.
Oh, God bless.
Speaking of an ass kicking, it's Cat's pick
God bless Drew
next.
Toothpaste. It's Cat's Pit next. Oh, God.
Cat, please, I'm begging you. Something that it can be bad, but please not something that's racist. That's gonna make me angry. Like if
Well,
it's shit and we mock it, that's fine. But please, for the love of
I
God.
honestly do not know because I am picking one out of the blue.
Okay.
Originally, what I was going to do was I was going to pick a story that we said that we were going to have my friend Chris watch because she's never seen any Doctor Who, and we kind of want the fun reaction of, someone who's never seen a Doctor Who episode and only knows it in passing to see what they think of. Unfortunately, due to some time constraints on my part, I've got to see what's going on. I don't want to put you guys through that if I'm not going to be available for it.
Right.
Having said that, I have indeed chosen a different episode for us to do, and it's called Halo. Yes, the grand story involving Master Chief that you can find on the Xbox.
Cat.
What?
Come back to us.
Yeah, Cat. Just you were saying about the story you were picking.
Yeah, I chose Halo. Okay, am I breaking up or something? Hang on. Let me try and adjust my. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to say it again, and hopefully you'll be able to hear me this time. I picked Ghostlight.
Okay.
Oh.
We got there.
Oh God.
I read one line about this episode, and I'm like, we're doing that.
Has she picked Gonzo again, Jerry?
Oh well. It's partly Gonzo.
Can I read him something very quickly?
I've never seen Ghostlight, so please do.
Yeah, go ahead, read it.
This is what made me want to pick this.
Uh-huh.
I found this website that was listing different Doctor Who episodes to help me figure out what I wanted to do. And it literally says, some cast members have even said that they had to wait to read the novelization to understand it.
Yeah.
Okay, we're doing this. We're absolutely doing this.
Ghostlight is notoriously one of the most complex, arguably confusingly hard to follow Doctor Who stories of the classic series.
How many parts is it?
It also tells me something that happens in the episodes. I'm not going to say what it is to not spoil Rainiac, but it is crazy.
I would like to go into it blind.
It makes Moffat look like a little golden book.
I would like to go into this blind.
Dark.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna have fun. Oh, well, do you know the Doctor?
I know it's McCoy.
Yes,
it's
the
McCoy.
Seventh Doctor.
We like McCoy here on this show.
Oh,
And
McCoy.
Fun fact, this actually came out a few months after I was born. So this episode is just as old as I am.
Hey!
Yeah. So this is gonna be a very fun one. We may need to really consult like at least 3 different wikis and the novelization to try to summarize what's going on and the themes. But by God,
we may need to get some vodka for this.
Challenge accepted. The novelization bit, not the vodka.
Well, I can't even drink vodka now, anyway. So.
Oh. Well, that's okay. I've got a big bottle here. I'll drink in spirit for you. And get absolutely slashed and try to fucking...
I'll drink some Coke and wish there was rum in it.
Mood. Well, that's going to be a really fun one. I mean, it's
Shout
McCoy.
out to Cuba Libres.
Well, out of the frying pan into the fire.
I couldn't shout to Madoka Magica, Ginny D, and now Cuba Libres. What the hell is going on?
Madoka Magica, what?
Don't you remember reference that trading card that just has Madoka dying on it?
Oh, yeah.
Jesus.
No, not Jesus, Madoka. Madoka's God, remember?
I'll link it you later. But...
Right. So,
yeah.
We got shit to promote.
Well, plugging, yeah. So you can contact the show on Twitter at ReviewsDoctor. You can contact the good people on this show at Rainiac the Maniac, at Concave Usurper, and at Freezing Inferno.
On Twitter.com.
Yeah, on Twitter.com. Our good friend Krista Mattia, who wrote a book called Back to the 11th Hour, she can be found at CrystalWolf94 on Twitter.com.
I like that you almost called the book Back to the 11th Hour.
Yes.
I mean, buy it anyways, but also buy the book.
I did almost, didn't I? But I didn't quite. But
Buy the book and the episode. The episode's great too.
Yes.
Yeah.
My technical director today was Stan Tobolowski, and you can get us you can send us an email on Gmail. I throw myself completely there. Our Gmail is goexterminateyourself@gmail.com. Please send us an email. Mike's email is getting very lonely in there. It's beginning to lose the will to live.
Oh, it's okay. I've already lost the will to live. However, I have not lost my certification key for my Windows.
I think you need to go and see.
Win.
I think you need to go and see the doctor. I think there's something faulty with your vaccine shot.
What? No, my vaccine's fine. What are you talking about?
Good enough. So thank you to you, the audience, for listening to us talk about the Mind Robber. Thank you to Kat and Jerry for... Honestly, this has been a blast, just dissecting the Mind Robber. And all the wild...
Honestly, the Mind Robber was just a blast.
All the wild twists and turns that it went through. And join us, it's time for a story so complex that the cast didn't know what was going on for it.
Yep.
Ghostlight.
Also, for those who maybe didn't get the joke, I was joking the entire time. There is no 5G in your vaccines. Bill Gates is not putting in microchips. None of this is actually happening. If you think that is actually happening, shut up, go get the vaccine, and then please see a therapist.
In the words of one Dwayne Johnson,
shut up, bitch!
Yeah, pretty much. Also, chemtrails are not real, the Earth is not flat, and there are no reptilian overlords trying to wait for you to fall asleep at night and, I don't know, nuzzle you gently. Whatever they're supposed to be doing.
and join us next time when we get cancelled by the Christian right. Until then.
Also, fuck Scientology.
Also, fuck QAnon.
Yeah.
Oh, no, we're definitely getting cancelled by the Christian right.
Oh, they can fucking try.
Until next time, we'll see you for Ghostlight. Bye for now.
Good night, Rainiac.
Good night. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Doctor Who Reviews. As of Friday, I've officially got 5G. Well, I got one injection, so I suppose it's 2.5G.
I'm getting my last one today.
June 11th, kids. That's round one.
We have to do that
For me.
again.
What?
My dad started singing.
Your test
What?
was what?
What?
My dad just came up the stairs and started singing.
Hi, Blue for real. How you doing? That's a new one for us.
I did definitely hear a little bit of him singing, but I didn't know what that was because it was so low.
That's so random.
Hi, Blue for real. Hi.
Did you tell them that you were going to be recording? Because he might have done it on purpose.
That's not the sort of person he is. I think he genuinely forgot.
Cute.
Oh, that's so funny. I'm crying.
That's adorable.
Oh.
You
All
want to
right.
start over?
I'm gonna
Yeah,
have
of course
to.
we're gonna start over.
I'm gonna have to. I'm sorry. I just completely gone from that. Oh. Oh, actually, he might have done it on purpose because I think the Doctor Who Phoebe was helping. She is the mistress of the land of friction. Is Concave Usurper, also known as Cat.
I don't even think I could top that. Holy crap.
In that case, let's jump straight into the Mind Robber then, because that's our story this week. And boy, oh boy, this one is special.
Rainiac.
I'm so proud of you.
Rainiac, what are you doing here? I mean,
What do you mean?
we've got all our shit here. Oh, ha ha ha. Here's.
I know we shouldn't be laughing because he just got dropped, but holy shit, that timing.
cursed. This is absolutely cursed. Oh, holy shit. Oh. So I was like coming up, then he couldn't get Discord working for 20 minutes, then we started singing.
Oh my gosh.
I can't breathe. Oh. If we do have to redo this, I'm keeping this to put in the outtakes.
Yeah, please do.
Oh.